what are the mistakes that you know of that most couples do in finances?
Not talking about money, because most couples, it's often cited that divorce is the reason why money is often the reason why couples get.
Hi, family. Welcome to Real Life Stories with Boitumelo Mankuroane. For those who do not know me, I am your host, Boitumelo Mankuroane. Today, it is a brand new day. I have something that is great, something that you've been waiting for. If it is your first time on this platform, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload greatness, because I always upload things that make you to be advanced, you will always get that notification. And today, if you are here and I know you are returning, thank you so much. I know this family is not the same without you. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do not forget. Do not forget. And the new service, thank you so much. And for those who are on podcasts, please check us on all podcast platforms. You can check us Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of them. We are there and we do not want you to miss anything. Today I have my friend, I have your friend, I have our friend, our financial friend Sphume. She's here with us. I want you to enjoy this one. This one is a unique one altogether. I think this is our first episode where we have Q&As, where people ask questions and we have an expert answering them. So our friend is here. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad that finally I'm meeting my friend. She's known as Pume, your financial friend. So she's my friend, she's your friend, she's
Absolutely.
our friend.
Absolutely.
Yes, man. Can you please tell us about who is Pume? What do you do and what is it that you're known for?
Yeah. So my name is Sphume Dlungwane, and
Yes.
on the social media streets, I call myself your financial friend. And
Yes.
then I call my community my financial friends. And
Yes.
what our community is about is that I help you make smart financial decisions so
Yes.
that you are able to live a life of your dreams and a life of your goals. And I help you by ensuring that I give you financial knowledge, which is going to ultimately be able to help you make the decisions.
So you're just saying that after here you are assuring me as Boitumelo that chances that I might be a millionaire is very high.
Absolutely. You have to work for it,
Yes, but
but it is possible.
have information.
Yebo.
Okay, can you please tell us how can one build financial security, to avoid paying, you know, not having stability, financial security, how to build financial security?
Well, we start by building financial stability by actually realizing that we have a relationship with money. Money
Yeah,
is very emotional to most of us.
yeah,
And so it's so important that we start realizing that we need to establish a healthy relationship with our money.
yes.
Now, the thing is with money is that money, how we view money is
Mm-hmm.
shaped by how we saw money when we were young. So psychologists say that between the age of 4 and 6, that's when our money story is formed. So if there were things that you were seeing when you were growing up and there were things that you were hearing when you were growing up, then that view is formed when you are actually an adult. So if you heard things like money doesn't grow on trees,
Yeah,
or the rich get richer and the poorer get poorer, or it takes money to make money, you
yes,
then start thinking or locking yourself out of situations because of that thinking. So it's very unconscious, right?
yes.
And so you actually then start living life in accordance with what you heard or in accordance with what you saw. So building a financial stability is actually realizing and addressing and asking, what is it that I think or believe about money,
Mm.
before you can actually then start implementing good financial habits that are going to help you be able to grow and be financially stable.
And how can I avoid, living that life of paying check, to check? How can I avoid it to I only have this money for bread. I can avoid that life. How can I do that?
Well, first of all, we live in a society where we think that the only way to make money is to wake up and go and work.
Yeah.
And to avoid that is to actually realize that there's more ways of making money than just the job that you are currently being employed.
Hmm.
So you need to start asking yourself, thinking, what are my God given abilities that I can start using to be able to make more money?
I hear you.
Because we can only cut as much as we can cut. So in terms of your spending, you can't cut out groceries, for example, because you can eat.
Mm.
But when it comes to earning additional income, you can always increase that additional income.
Yes.
But it takes you being able to identify, what skill do I have?
Mm.
What competence do I have?
Mm.
What value can I add in order to actually be able to sell myself
Mm.
and be able to then make more money? Now,
Yes.
the issue is that we are also not taught to actually invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
So most people think, I'm gonna pay for this. Nah, I don't want to pay for the skill because my employer must pay. But your employer is not interested
Yes. In you.
in your
Yeah.
investment. It's up to you. So that's why we have beautiful coaches now who are actually able to help us be able to get to our goals. Invest in that skill, because that's the skill that's going to help you be able to increase your capabilities of making money.
Okay. And I understand that you are our friend, but in the field of financial planning, financial coaching, what do you do? What do you specialize with?
So my platform is mainly a financial education platform.
Okay.
That's my platform. So, but what I do is I run the Financial Growth Club, which
Yeah.
is an online club, and we have a WhatsApp group, we have a Facebook group,
Yes.
and we also meet on Zoom each month. And so,
Yes.
what I do within that club is then I then bring in business experts. So I bring
Mm.
in your financial coaches, I
Mm.
bring in your wealth coaches,
Mm.
I bring in your financial advisors,
Mm.
those who are experts in their field, to be able to now, because we've built on the knowledge, because I've given you the knowledge,
Mm.
now I need them to be able to then come in and add more value and actually
Mm.
be able to then assist you and hold your hand in
Mm.
order for you to be able to achieve your financial goals.
You know, I'm listening to you now. I'm wondering that, Boitumelo, why are you not in that group? Why are you
Why?
here? Why are you
Why?
not? Oh my God, we are making mistakes, eh? And you know, I'm listening to you now. You know, there's something that happened. I think is that on Tuesday, I got excited. There's a video that I uploaded about the entrepreneur. I'll attach it if you have not yet watched. Please watch it. So my daughter asked me if she's 5 years. She asked me that, "Mommy, what is an entrepreneur?" I said, "As people, business people." She said, "You are in business." I said, "I know, man, not that one." She said, "So where can I learn about entrepreneur?" I said, "I'm uploading a video tomorrow and you will watch it." Then Wednesday she woke up. She said, "I didn't see the video about entrepreneur." I said, "Oh, I forgot it's on Friday." So I was just, passing. On Friday, I uploaded. On Saturday, 6 a.m. Believe you me, my daughter was watching.
Love that.
So what you're saying, there's something that you said earlier, that what we see when we are young, what we hear when we are young, it is
It
what
shapes our
it
future.
comes up now. So yesterday she sent Daddy the message that I can't wait to watch my Miss video. So I'm glad that I met you, because it means that at her age she'll begin to be receiving what I've not yet received. And at my age, as I'm receiving it, and as she grows up, I will have, more info, more
Yes.
especially now because I'm going to join that group.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And are you a 9 to 5 gang or employer gang?
So I soon realized that an average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
Yes.
When I heard that and it landed, I thought, okay, so how can I start using my income, which is
Mm,
my main income, my salary, in
mhm,
order to build the other 6 streams of income?
mhm,
Right? Because we often undermine our salary and think that we want to make more income, but it's actually an investment. It's an asset that we can then start building
mm.
our potential income. So I am a 9 to 5. I'm a lecturer at by but I lecture at UKZN. I lecture auditing to
Okay.
my students, so I have kids, and then also then I'm able then with my salary to build other streams of income because I'm investing in the skill that God has given me.
Wow.
That's
I like it. I think Tina, more especially as the upcoming ones, immediately when you see somebody excelling in something, the person tells you that I'm not working, you automatically you resign from work. I like that. And I want to ask, what did you do at school for you to be here? How did you land here?
so I was. fortunate to be very good at accounting. Fortunate or unfortunate, because my road to becoming a chartered accountant was very long. It takes 7 years to become a chartered accountant. Took me 11 years. So that should just tell you how many times I fell along the way and had
Yeah.
to pick myself up. But I was good at accounting. And so I thought, because at that time, there were certain degrees that you were told that if you do this degree, you'll make money, you'll be sorted. Skawar.
Yes.
So I did that. I chose accounting for that reason.
Mm.
I didn't really choose. I didn't have any other reason other than the fact that I wanted to make money. So
Yes.
that's the reason. That's how I essentially got here, to become. And now I'm a qualified chartered accountant. But the real reason was that I just wanted to make money.
Okay. And if you're not doing what you're doing now, what do you think you'd be doing?
So it's interesting that you asked that question, because as I said, my journey was very long, filled with a lot of challenges, and along the way, I've always wanted to do lecturing,
Okay.
but everyone would tell me there's no money in lecturing. You can't do lecturing.
Mm.
You're going to get a pay decline, decrease in terms of your salary. But I've always loved teaching, and training and interacting with students. That's really, really my core passion and love. And as I've had to just work on my money story, on my limiting beliefs about money, I've had to really challenge the question of asking, why do I think that I'm going to make less money in lecturing if I know that I'm going to add value to my students' lives? So as I've had to address that question and really walk that journey, last year I was then able to transition and now become a lecturer and really
Yeah.
do the work that I love, which is lecturing,
Wow.
and also being your financial friend. And
Yes.
and also I sit on boards now, and so all my knowledge I've been able to use
Mm.
to not only build additional streams of income, but actually to do the work I love.
Again, you're transferring skill.
That's the key skill that I've had to invest in over the years in
Yes.
order to be able to then articulate it and add value to other individuals' lives.
I like it. And what is your view, ideally, on wealth? What is your view?
So within the Your Financial Group community
Mm.
on social media and Facebook, we have a theme each month.
Mm-hmm.
And in February, we ran a theme of wealth. That's what our topic was. We were saying what is wealth, and we encouraged our community members to be able to define what wealth is in their lives.
Mm.
Because if you're unable to define what a certain aspect is in your life, you'll never know whether you attain it or not.
Yes.
Also, it will be a moving target because
Yes.
everyone will be able to will define it for you.
Yes.
And so for we received so many definitions, but my definition of wealth is being able to work where I want to work. So it's being able to own my own time.
Yeah.
It's being able to sit here today and be able to do the podcast without thinking, oh my word, I need to be at my employer's
I hear.
at my employer's place. So it's being able to really own my own time and being able to work from anywhere. And so it's so important to be able to define what wealth is for you, so that you know when you're able to when you get there.
Yes.
Um, so many definitions of wealth, but it starts by defining it, because once you've defined it, then you'll know what work you need to put into it in order to be able to attain it.
Yes. And how would you define the concept of generational wealth?
So generational wealth is transferring
Yes.
skills, assets, sometimes even debt to the next generation,
Yeah.
right? So I was lucky enough to have been brought up by parents who um, had to pay a lot of black tax to their parents, and so that was transferred to them.
Yeah.
My dad had to teach all his siblings because
Mm.
he was the oldest,
Mm.
and my parents made a declaration and said we will never transfer this to our children.
Yes.
So when we started working and when we started studying, my parents said we are taking you to school for yourself. It's for you. You do not need to come back and do anything for us. We are
Yes.
sorted. And so generational wealth starts with us as now parents, as guardians, saying, what is it that I want to transfer to the next generation?
Yes.
My parents, there was a lot of debt that was transferred to them, but they then said, no, it stops with us. And
Yes.
so when my mom passed away, there was nothing that we had to ultimately pay
My
for her
God.
funeral. She had paid up all her debts. She had no debt. And what she ultimately transferred to us is wealth. So we are now
Yes.
starting from a wealth building aspect. And so for us now, it's to say, what assets can we purchase for our kids so that we now are able to
Yes.
transfer assets to the next generation so that they start at a better rate than how we started. And so that's why we need to stop this debate of saying, oh, Gary, black text, black text, black text. We
Yeah.
need to actually say, okay, it stops with me. It
Yes.
stops with me.
Yes.
Because I had to pay black tax, it doesn't mean that the next generation has to now pay black tax. I
Yes.
need to heal and be okay with the
Yes.
fact that I had to do it, but the next generation doesn't have to do it.
So listening to you, I feel like I can say, Father, in the name of Jesus, I will not transfer any debt to my children.
Amen. Amen.
You know,
Amen.
because we think it's not for black people.
Yes.
We think it's not for black people. So if your parents can do it, definitely I can do it.
Yes.
And I'm proud of
Absolutely.
them. Eh?
I'm also very thankful.
Like I said earlier, that this episode is a different one altogether. We received questions from different people
Yeah.
that they asked me that, Boitumelo, please get somebody that can advise us financially. And I thank God our friend is here.
Mm.
And when I told them that the person that is coming is our friend, I know that they are looking forward.
Yes.
But before I ask their questions, I want to ask you, what is your favorite color?
It's green because I love hiking and running. I'm always outdoors.
How?
So, Nje,
Please take me with, but I don't think I'm fit.
you don't have to be fit. Let's go for a hike this weekend. Easy as
Can
that.
I?
Yes.
I don't think I'm fit to even walk 1 kilometer.
Well, we have to start somewhere, so we'll do
Okay.
1K.
Okay. And if you were to travel somewhere else now, me and you, where would you love to go?
Oh, we must go to the Maldives. Or we must go to Dubai. Or we must go to Bora Bora.
No, I think you watched our last week episode.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That's why it's on my mind, actually. But okay, let's do New York because I do want to do America.
I would love to go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Just that aroma that I do not even know. I feel it. I feel the breeze even when I'm here. And I would also want to go to Turkey.
I was actually going to mention that. I've seen so many beautiful pictures on
Yeah,
Turkey. It's
if you're going to
stunning.
Turkey, please holla
Yeah,
at me.
I will. I will. It's on my list.
Please just let me know. I'm
I'll let
going
you know.
with you.
I'll let you know.
Okay, the first question is there. It says, when speaking about generational wealth, can you please give us a basic overview between a will and a trust? And which would you say, as a financial expert, that it is better? Which one would you say is better?
So they're both very important.
Okay.
We should all have a will because a will is essentially what is going to govern your assets when you pass away as an elder, as a mother or a father, a
Yes.
guardian. So you're able to allocate and say, this is where I want my assets to go in terms of your kids
Yes.
or your dependents that you've left behind. So it's
Yes.
very important that we all have a will. Most people think that you have to have a will if you have major assets and you are wealthy, but no, we all have to have a will because it also governs how your kids will be taken care of when you pass away. So it's important to have a will. And a trust
Mm-hmm.
what's beautiful about a trust is that it's a separate person.
Okay.
So what happens is when you start buying assets. So if you are buying any assets, which are assets are essentially something that needs to help you be able to earn more income without you doing anything. For example, you may buy property,
Yes.
and you can buy that property in a trust, and it's a separate person
Okay.
from you. So if you ever are liquidated and you're in credit, and creditors want to attach assets to you, they can never touch a trust
Okay.
because it's a separate person.
Okay.
But the beauty about a trust is that you are then able to then create generational wealth because you are then able to allocate the trust to your dependents, your
Yes.
children. And
Yes.
so because it's separate from your estate, it's a separate person. When you pass away, it's also assist in terms of tax planning because you are then not going to be taxed under a trust. It will
Okay.
then be transferred to your kids
Wow.
effectively. So when you are starting to build assets and starting to invest in assets, it's good then to be able to consult and see if a trust is going to be something that's going to help you in the future as well as your dependents.
You know, I just remembered something. Please don't laugh, ne? And I remember this other time I asked my dad if he has a will. He now told me that, "Eh, karusethu no korubulaya wena." So it's like whenever people talk about a will, we think there's a death case that is coming soon.
Yes, yes, yeah. We don't want to talk about it. Yeah, yeah. But it's good to talk about it because it allows those people who are you've now left behind to be able to
To
continue with
know.
life.
Okay. And the second question is that South Africa is slowly gaining the momentum into cryptocurrency. And with the looming financial recession, we need to seek out multiple streams of income. For someone who may be skeptical about cryptocurrency, would you encourage someone to go into that stream or discourage them, and why?
Mm. Sure. So cryptocurrency is such a problem, hey, because we're seeing so many people slide into our DMs and selling us crypto.
Okay.
I even think even just crypto, when you say crypto, everyone is just always thinking about people who are saying, oh my word, you're gonna invest in crypto today and you're gonna earn your money in the
Mm.
next day. I think what we need to know with every investment, if it's too good to be true, it's probably a
Yeah,
scam.
yeah.
So, what I always encourage my financial friends is that we need to be able to understand each and every asset that we buy, be it crypto, be it shares, be it
Mm.
stocks, be it anything.
Yeah.
We must understand it before we go into it. And we must be able to also understand why we are going into it,
Hmm.
be able to understand the growth phase of that asset. Do I want to invest for it for 5 years and then be able to take my money and
Mm.
do something else, or do I want to invest it for it for 10 plus years or
Yes.
until retirement? Because that will inform what type of um, investment you go into. So
Yes.
I always say, please, please, there's so much information out there, but you must be able to understand what you are buying. So
Yes.
we must seek professionals, experts. Please
Okay.
don't buy from anyone just online just because they promise you. Be able to, because crypto has such a bad reputation, but there are actually people who are making money from crypto, and they are
Okay.
making it because they understand and have invested correctly and understand the currency and how it's going to make money.
And now, as you are talking about this, I remember my mom wanted to join this other pyramid scheme, and I'm going to give you my view about pyramid scheme, and please advise on that. And she told me that people are making money there. I told her that the way I understand it is that as it starts, you
Yes,
make money. It's
yes.
like you should always be ready to run. That once I get a jackpot, I run.
Mm.
Did I understand it correctly? Is it how I said it to my mom? Is it exactly that, or is there a way that you can advise?
Yes. So if you are talking about investing, if you're saying, come, let's invest in a pyramid scheme, investing is about investing in an asset.
Yes,
So I must be able to invest in something that's going to appreciate in the future.
yes,
So that's why even investing in a business, if you are starting a business and it's going to appreciate and going to start making profits in the future,
mm.
that's an investment. So that's the question you must always ask, because with pyramid schemes, it always is the people who are start out who make money, and then it comes
Yes,
crashing after a couple of months or a year later when you join
yes,
in late. So ask, what's the productive asset that I'm actually investing in that's going to grow, other than
yes.
just we are all joining into this bank account and putting money and hoping that we are going to make more money in the future.
Thank you for that. And the other one, it says, what is the most helpful or reliable way to pay off debts?
So we need to start acknowledging that we have debt. So that's the first starting point, being able to write up all your debt.
Mhm.
How much debt do I have? Listing the installments as well. How much am I paying currently?
Mm.
And then we have what's called a debt snowball method, which is usually quite helpful when it comes to debt. So you write your debt from lowest to largest, the installments. So
Okay.
let's, for example, say you've got 5 creditors or debts that you're needing
Yes.
to pay.
Yes.
And you write, okay, for my first installment, I'm paying 100 Rand at the moment.
Mhm.
For the second installment, I'm paying 200 Rand. And so you're writing it from lowest to largest. Then you look at your first date where you were paying 100 Rand.
Yes.
Then you say, okay, I'm currently paying 100 Rand. I'm going to continue paying for all these 5 other debts,
Yes.
but I'm going to now take additional income that I have with debts. Unfortunately, it always means that we need to, unfortunately, when we are focused on paying debts, that means that you need to cut out on certain things
Yes.
that you may enjoy, because your focus at the moment is paying off this debt.
Yes.
So you take off an extra 100 Rand and you say, okay, for that first date, I'm going to pay 200 Rand, because
Yes.
I'm going to knock it off quickly when I pay off
Yes.
200 Rand.
Mm.
Because with debt, we don't necessarily need to be paying the installments that we are told to pay by the
Okay.
institutions, because They tell us to pay 100 rand, but if you pay extra, that means that you are able to pay in quickly in terms of interest, which shortens your payment period.
Yes.
So you may find that for your first date you may have needed to pay 100 rand for a full year,
Yes.
but when you start doubling it, you may actually end up paying it in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're done paying your first date, that 200 rand you move to your second date. You
Yes.
add the 200 rand to your second date.
Yes.
Why? Because we as humans are motivated by seeing results. So
Yes.
when you start seeing results and start seeing that I've actually paid off this debt, it motivates you to say, actually, it's possible to pay
Yes.
off this debt.
Mm.
That's when you then start able to knock it off, because now you're paying more because you've eliminated the first one. So you're paying 300 rand or 400 rand, let's say, in this debt, as
Yeah.
opposed to 200 rand. And so that's how you start knocking off your debt. Snowball. That's why it's called snowball method,
Okay.
and it quickens it, and it actually really assists you to be you motivated as well when you
Okay.
start seeing results. So that's how I would say
You know,
let's start
there's
paying back.
people that are in debts, and as they are in debts, I know, let's say maybe I owe a certain institution 1,000 rand, or let's say 10K, and I know I cannot afford it, and I will go and try and get another debt just to close this one. That is number one. And number two is that there are those people that have debts, and with that debts, they make it a revolving facility. So which one is better? Maybe is there a better way of it?
No, there is no better way of it, because with debt, not debt, all debt is not equal,
Yes.
first of all. So we find that there's actually debt which is not based on an underlying asset. So you
Okay.
find that if you're buying a house or if you're buying a car, the interest rate for those debts are usually lower, because banks know that if you don't pay for those debts, they're going to secure the car or the loan.
Yes.
Then we have the other debts, which is not based on anything, your short revolving loans, your credit cards,
Mm.
your store cards. Those ones are higher in interest. So that's
Oh
why most people end up being in debt for the rest of their lives, because the interest they pay is high. It can go up to 18 to 20%
my
of
God.
interest that you are paying. And so if you then take a revolving loan and go in and pay to try and pay off a credit card,
Mm.
it's just borrowing from Peter to Paul, and you're just
Yeah.
going to be running around,
Yes.
the circle. What's important is that you actually just stop, take a deep breath, and actually write down the debt and find a debt strategy that you're going to use to be able to pay the debt. Don't go and find more debt, because that's going to be detrimental to your.
So stop. Take a deep breath. Tlogela dikoloto ngwana, o share ya tswa dikolotong today. And the next one is that what are the biggest problems? What are the biggest financial problems that people make when they start a business? And what advice can you give to that person that is starting a business?
So, first of all, I always say, when you're starting a business, please, you have to be able to articulate what value am I adding,
Yes.
because business is about value creation. What value am I adding? Be able to articulate that, because
Yes.
that's why we are going to come to you to buy, because you are adding value.
Yes.
Then, secondly, you need to be able to uh, be personal finance. If you haven't managed your personal finance in your individual life, then you're not going to be able to manage it in the business as well.
Yes.
So make sure that a business is a business. It's a separate person. You do not incur personal expenses in the business. You
Mm.
pay yourself a salary as an employee of the business, because the business is a separate person. So many times I see that people mix the two, and you're finding personal expenses in the business. Then how are we able to measure the growth of the business?
Mm.
How are we able to see that the business truly does actually make an income and has a potential to actually grow?
Yes.
So please be also, when it comes to businesses, people always want to jump for funding. I
Mm.
want funding. I want funding. Your greatest funding is your customer when you start a business.
Yes.
Invest in your customer,
Yes.
because they are the ones who are funding your business. So
Yes.
we often don't pay attention to our customers, our greatest investors, because
Mm.
they are the ones who are going to come back. They are the ones who are going to recommend us to their family, to their friends.
Yes.
And we are now going to reinvest that money that we make to our customers back into the business, so that we can grow the business, because no one is going to find a business which is new. We all want to find a business which is potential, has potential growth. How do
Yes.
we measure the potential growth? Is by seeing that it does have customers who are coming back, and it's likely to then grow in the future.
I hear you very well. I hear you. And somebody said, how soon should one start saving for retirement?
As soon as possible.
As in
when
yesterday.
you when you start working, please start, because we've got what's called compound interest.
Okay.
So compound interest works to your favor if you start as soon as possible, because what happens is if you start investing 100 rand into the stock market or start investing, that 100 rand is going to grow, because it's going to grow in the future. Because if you invest in the stock, the objective of the markets, or the invest in the or the shares you buy in, their objective is for them to the companies, the objective is to make profit. And so as they make profit, your investment grows. So it can grow from either you earning interest on that share that you bought, so you're now earning 10 rand, either you earning dividends when the company declares their profits
Mm-hmm.
because they are growing.
Yes.
So essentially, your money is making money babies without you doing anything. So that's
Oh.
why it's important to start as soon as possible, because the more time you have, the more likely it's going to start growing. So we need to. I think Warren Buffett says the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The next best time is today. So we need to start as soon as possible.
You know, I have retirement plan.
Mm.
The person that told me about the retirement plan said you need to have a retirement plan because there's a way it is making you to get that there's a way that is making you to get something when you know that time SARS.
Retirement annuity fund. Is that what it is?
No, I have a retirement saving plan. So the reason why I opened it is because somebody advised me that when you have it, it is an assurance that when we get returns from SARS, you will definitely get it. Is it true?
Yes, that's the retirement annuity fund.
Yes.
Yes, that's the problem is that's how they sell it, right? And it's true,
Oh,
you do get a refund, but they also need to be able to structure it in accordance with your investment goals and your investment strategy. And I think that's where most advisors fail. So in as
oh,
much you're happy because you're getting the refund now, but is it growing at a rate in which will help you be able to, when you need to start tapping into it, will it have enough funds there? And I
okay,
think that's where the gap is.
okay,
That's where the knowledge gap is for us to be able to ask those questions
okay.
with these advisors.
I hear.
But it is true, you do definitely get a
And
reduction.
what advice can you give to somebody who doesn't know whether to take retirement or life cover?
So retirement is going to help you when you reach the age of 60. So you're able to draw from those investments, or not
Yes,
necessarily perhaps the age of 60, some at the age of 55, but we are living longer now.
yes,
So they say that we do have a person who's been born who's going to live it till the age of 100. So it's important to be able to have a retirement
yes.
structure. Life cover, on the other hand, is different in a sense that um, it's going to help your dependents when you actually pass away.
Okay.
So if you have any dependents who are still studying, the
Yes.
life cover can take care of them so that they're able to continue working to
To
study.
study.
Yes. And also, so I know most times we talk about a funeral cover in South Africa. Everyone has a funeral
Yes.
cover, but
Yes.
the funeral cover only helps when just in covering the funeral expenses.
Yes.
Life cover helps in it helps the dependents be able to continue with life
Yes.
when you pass away as a guardian or a parent. Also ensuring that some life covers pay your credit as well. If you have any
Yes.
outstanding credit, then at least the life cover will kick in and pay that credit. So both of them are equally important.
And how much debts is too much debts? And if one is in debts, where should they go for help?
So too much debt is when you definitely are now living beyond your means.
Yes.
So when you are earning, for example, 100 rand, and you are then start living a life of 200 rand,
Mm-hmm.
because someone is financing that life and it's likely probably debt.
Yes.
So it's very important on the onset to always be able to live with below our means.
Mm-hmm.
So with the 100 rand that I receive, we need to be just get into the habit of saving, putting another seed on the ground, investing, so that we're able to live within 80%. I'm just making an example,
Yes.
because the minute you extend it, then you've got too much debt probably. That's when it
Yes.
starts. That's when the
Yes.
cycle of debt starts. So there's a lot of debt institutions which assist in terms of debt counseling, or also if you feel you are too indebted in terms of debt, they then help you be able to. They speak to your graded institutions to try and reduce the debt.
Mm,
But the problem with that is that you then end up paying for way longer, right?
mm,
So that's why it's important, if you are still in a situation where you feel like you can still manage your debt, you can breathe, rather adopt what we discussed earlier, just the snowball
yes,
method. Maybe get an accountability partner to help hold you accountable, to hold
yes,
your hand, so that you're able to pay your debt as quickly as possible. Because if you then if you go with these institutions, you end up paying way longer because you're paying a reduced fee, and
yes.
it's going to take you much longer.
I hear you. And the next one is says, in marriage, would you advise couples to save in one account or they should save individually?
So in marriage, it's very important that couples have financial values that they both share within the marriage, financial goals that they both share, because that will then determine how they spend their money. That will determine how they save their money. Do they decide to save in a joint account because the goal is a joint vision?
Yes,
So it's very important to normalize and speak about money in a marriage, because that will ultimately be able to direct our fees, and we will be able to direct how our money goes. So I know each person is different, but I think what's important is that we speak about our values, our goals, so that
yes,
we're able then to use our money effectively.
I hear you. And it says, how do you stay up to date with the changes in financial industries and market trends?
So the beauty about finances or money is that money doesn't change much over
Yeah,
time. It's a few things that change, like your repo rate, when we hear the Reserve Bank talking about the repo rate.
yes,
But once you've built your knowledge and understand most things about finances, those things don't change. It's just about habit building, building the habit to being
yes,
able to really being able to live that life of habit building and good habits about money, building those good habits about money. So we have social media now, so it's always great to be able to, of course, follow people who you love, who speak
yes,
about finances. Of course, people who are experienced, who are qualified. Make sure you're following those, because those ones will really keep you abreast about any changes that happen.
yes.
That's how it's.
And how do you work or help clients to develop financial plan?
So we did a within our financial growth club community, beginning of the year, we did financial goal setting. That's what we did. And we the questions that we were asking really are, um, ultimately, what is it that you want to achieve with your money, and
Yes,
why do you want to achieve what you want to achieve? Being able to write that down, either even creating a vision board, or writing it down, but also knowing the why, because
yes,
life has so many challenges, and life gets into it, and life always has its own agendas. But if you're able to know why you want something, then irrespective of the challenges, you'll still be able to continue. So
yes,
being able to articulate, it doesn't have to be a lot of things. Maybe it has to just be top three things, because if you have three things, then it's easier to be able to align and be able to say, okay, this is my main focus for the first year, as opposed
yes.
to having 10 things and then you just get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
What I often say to my community and my clients is that we underestimate what we can achieve in terms of money within 5 years, and we
Yes,
overestimate what we can achieve in a year. So often we think we have these big audacious goals, and we think we can attain them in a year, and then after a year, when we haven't attained them, we are discouraged and think, oh no. But what money is, it's really it's a process orientated goal.
yes.
You when you start today, in 6 months you may not see the massive difference, but in a year you'll see, and then in 5 years it will be completely different.
I
So you
hear,
really need to be kind to yourself as well.
I hear you, and I hear you a lot. Let's say there's somebody that is listening to you now or watching you now, and this person is interested in everything that you're saying. They would love to even book a financial consultation with you, but they do not have, background in finances. Can you
Mm.
really help somebody that is not knowledgeable about finance and pick them?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we do within the financial growth community.
Okay,
In fact, you must probably just follow me on social media,
okay,
Instagram, Facebook, your financial friend, Sphume Dlungwane, because each day I post something. Each month we have a theme,
hmm,
so each day I post something which is going to help you in your
okay.
knowledge. This month we're talking about investing, so I'm posting everything that you
About
probably need to know about investing,
okay,
right? Because it starts there. It starts with you by reading books, by you following social media content, which is going to help you be able to build the knowledge. So everyone can build financial knowledge. I'm certain of that. You don't need to have degrees and degrees to be able to build any finance. You can start from where you are.
And what is that three? What are those three things that you're saying? If you're not part of my community, or if you're not part of my social media platforms, or if you are not if you are not doing financial consultations with me, you are missing out on them. Three
The
keys.
three keys. So you are missing out on the beautiful coaches who are experts who are bring in, who
Yes.
teach us about the different topics that we have each month.
Hmm.
We've had the wealth coach coming in. We've had the investment coach coming in. We've also had a coach who's come to speak to us about the future of work, because
Okay.
we've realized that things are changing
Yes.
and we need to be able to have skills that are going to help us be able to address the future of work. So you're missing out on so many coaches that that may teach you about the different skills that you may need to have. You're also missing out on potentially investing in a skill that's going to help you be able to build your income stream,
Yeah.
having multiple streams of income.
Yes.
Because the coaches I bring in are coaches who are industry experts and are earning income in those different areas.
Mm.
We come next month, we are talking about property. The
Yes.
coach I'm coming in is going to teach us about investing in property. So we're building different multiple income streams within even your financial community. We're teaching each other
Okay.
about your about building income streams. But also we're normalizing, the last thing, we're normalizing the money conversation, because we are saying that money doesn't have to be taboo.
Yes.
Money is very convenient. We all
Yes.
love to have money. And I think the conversations we are not having are the ones which are making us lack in terms of having money. And so
Yeah.
because we are normalizing it, because we're asking how we can make more money, we are actually making more money in the community.
I hear you. And I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad. And the next question is that what are the mistakes that you know of that most couples do in finances?
Not talking about money, because most couples, it's often cited that divorce is the reason why money is often the reason why couples get divorced, because they don't talk about money, because money is so emotional.
Mm.
Because also when you come into a relationship and you are a couple, how I view money is completely different to how my spouse may view money.
Yes.
So if we don't address how we want to view money now going forward as a family, it can actually be an issue. So I think that's where the issue is. We don't normalize that conversation. And sometimes people ask, how do I start, talking about money with my spouse? But it's just asking, what are your financial goals?
Yeah.
What are your financial values?
Mm.
And you start there, because then that's how you're going to build and those goals, by just starting where you are with your partner. You don't need to ask them, do you have squalid? Do you have credit?
Mm. How are your
What's your
financial
credit
goals?
score? No, just ask, what are your financial values? Let's
I'll
start
run
there.
with it, with that statement. I'll even teach people around me that you do not have to offend anyone. Just ask them
Mm,
a nice
nice
question.
question.
What can one do to result in financial stability?
So financial stability is all about asking, how can I grow the money that I have currently as a salary if you are working, but ultimately, how can I start growing the money so that I'm able to make my money work for me, as opposed to me always working for my money. And that always starts with investing. So we
Yes.
can never really um, I said earlier, an average millionaire has 7 streams of income. They're
Yes.
not working for those 7 streams of income. It's passive income that they are receiving. So
Mm.
it always starts with investing.
Okay.
Always starts with investing. Investing in something, you have to invest, because that's how you're going to build your money.
I hear you. I hear you a lot. There's this language that they are using in South Africa, repo rates,
Mm,
points. What is it? What when they're talking about
repo rate.
repo rates? What are they talking about? Because me, Nashem, I only hear Greek, and when they're talking about 5%, it went up
Mm,
to 0.25. You know, the person that asked this literally said, please ask her to explain to us like
yeah.
we are 5 years old, because when
Yes.
they say it there, we don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And if they're talking about one base, is it that point? Is it how much is it?
Yes.
Does it have a standard rate?
Yes.
Does it fluctuate?
Yes.
How does it work? And if they're saying it went up with 5%,
Mm,
how much should I estimation should I expect my house to go up with,
Yes,
those
yes,
things.
I
Yes.
understand. So the repo rate is the repurchase rate. So what we have in South Africa is we have the Reserve Bank
Mm-hmm.
who sits at the top, and they're the ones who always are deciding that repurchase rates.
Yes.
So they then lend monies to the banks,
Yes.
right? So the repo rate, let's say it's 4%, they lend that money to the bank at 4%. So
Yes.
meaning that banks are going to repay 4% of what has been lent to them back to the Reserve Bank. So the 4% is what we call interest.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a loan and you always hear that you're paying interest, it's you often paying interest at a rate
Mm.
that's been determined by the bank. So then banks then come and they lend to us when
Mm.
we wanting to buy anything, when we want a loan, banks give us money.
Mm.
Banks must also make money, right? They're in the business of making a profit.
Yes.
So they will then take the 4% that has been given to them by Reserve Bank and then add another percentage, which is then the prime interest rate. So
Okay.
they'd say they add another 1% and it's 5%. And so they lend to us at a rate, at a rate. So when we go, they will then lend to us at a certain rate.
Mm.
So when the repo rate goes up, that means that the banks will also do the same thing, follow suit. They will also increase the interest that they lend to us. That will mean that everything goes up because our
Yes.
interest installments go up, because
Yes.
our interest also goes up.
I hear.
But when it goes down, it works to our favor because now we are paying less.
Less.
Yes. So the people who ultimately govern is the Reserve Bank. That's why that's why they come in with their meetings, quarterly meetings, to actually then be able to determine what the interest rate is.
Mm.
The reason why they are increasing it so much, we've had about 9 increases, is because they're trying to address inflation. Prices are way too high. So
Mm.
they're trying to ensure that there's not much money circulating in the economy, so that we can they're trying to balance everything, but ultimately at the end of the day, so that's why they increase it, just so that there's less money circulating in the economy, so that we are able to balance things out. So ultimately that's what it means. It's the lending rate.
If my daughter was here, she was gonna ask, "Mama, what is Reserve Bank? Who?" In fact, she will say, "Who is Reserve Bank?
Mm.
Can she come to our house?"
They must explain why they're increasing these things
Yeah.
so much.
Yes. So, before we close, I just want to find out, where can people find you?
So I am on social media,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, Facebook, Sphume Dlungwane,
Mm-hmm.
or Your Financial Friend. I also I do weekly lives
Okay.
where I chat more to the community just about our theme for each month. So
Okay.
that's where you can find me if you are wanting to connect with the financial friend community.
What advice can you give to people who are listening to you, people who are watching us
Yeah.
currently?
Mm. So I want to say to people, please don't ever discount yourself when it comes to money.
Yes.
Don't think that because you were born in a certain family or born in a certain environment that you can that limits your earning potential. It doesn't.
Mm.
So you need to start believing in yourself. It
Yes.
starts with the believing in yourself, and
Yes.
then doing the necessary work to be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. With life, we need to realize that we need to constantly be learning, unlearning, and relearning.
Yes.
So we need to be able to, we must make sure that we instill all of those. And of course, always be kind to yourself. Just like when we start working, we don't know money.
Mm.
You need to gain experience at work.
Yes.
And then you get better. So it's like that with money. As you're learning more, you're getting more experienced, you're getting more comfortable, you're getting more confident, and so you're able to talk about it more. So always be kind to yourself. That's what I'd say.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you
I
for
really
inviting me.
appreciate. Wherever you are, please do not forget to follow her on Instagram. And please do not forget to follow me as well. And I will really appreciate. Please do not forget to check us out on all podcast platforms. And do not forget to subscribe. And if you need anything, any question, you can leave it on the comment section, or you can go direct to her DM. And I believe that she will help you. And wherever you are, just know that I love you so much. This platform was never going to be the same without you. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.